Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
Alright, what is up everybody? We're back here for another episode of the CBR 1000 build. Behind me we have the CBR 1000 covered up. Just keeping warm, I guess you could say, in the middle of winter here. I'm not going to be bolting too much onto the bike today, but in this video we're going to be putting together the wheels. I have the hubs right here. This is the front hub and the rear hub. Front hub I bought, rear hub I had it custom machined. A couple of my videos I've kind of been hinting on I'm going to be doing spoked wheels for this bike. So it's something a little crazy. I couldn't really find a company to buy the rear spoked wheel from. So what I ended up doing was shipping out my whole rear wheel, my whole caliper, bracket, axle, everything they needed to measure to make me this. So essentially this is a 07 CBR 1000 rear wheel dimensions. But I need to put it on the bike to make sure it is good. But before I press in my bearings, which I have brand new here, I don't want to press them in and press them back out. I might as well go ahead and powder coat them. Powder coat these pieces and then put them on the bike and see if everything fits. I'm pretty sure everything's going to fit. I'm like 99% sure. Before we do that, I have to get my caliper back on the bike. They're right here. I just powder coated the rear caliper. They got the seals here. That's the piston, the bracket, and I got some brand new EBC brake pads. So yeah, let's get to the build. If you're enjoying what you're seeing in these videos, please subscribe. I do have a select few that have been diehard fans. I've been watching the build series, and in the end, it's going to be awesome to make a whole video from start to finish. There's a lot more to go on this bike. I'm going to be doing some custom body work on this bike and painting it as well, and then obviously taking it to some bike shows and some bike nights and stuff like that and showing it off. So I'm going to try and bring the camera along for that this season. And yeah, alright, let's get to it. So this is how it goes. The rotor sits in there, and then this will float back and forth. But I just realized I'm missing a dust boot right here. This is greased. That's inside there is greased. So I'm not too sure where I put that. I looked everywhere, but I'm gonna look again. If not, I'm gonna have to order one.
Yeah, we ran out of patience for your love with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration, feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a
Alright, so they are done. I just finished powder coating them. The color I chose was a satin black. It's nothing too fancy, just subtle. It's going to be easy to clean, and it's a nice thin coating to where these spokes are going to fit well. You mask off these areas with high heat tape so the brake rotor can sit flush. And then obviously where the bearing goes in. So my next step here is I'm going to press the bearings in, and then I'm going to mount them on the bike and make sure all the spacing's good, the caliper bracket, axles, everything's pretty good dialed in. And I'm going to lace them up. I'm going to seal the outer hoop so that way I can run it tubeless. Hopefully that works for me. And I'm going to mount the tire and put them on the bike. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright, so I got this bearing driver tool. I'm going to push the bearing into there. Use the bearings for the rear. These are all brand new from Honda. I even had to get this because I didn't have it. So yeah, let's get to it.
Electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me, 'cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. We're not as tough as.
When you're doing that, you just kind of bang it until you hear the tone change. Then you can tell it's seated in the bottom. That's the cush drive, so there's no dust seal there. I just have this collar, I guess, sits against that. Seals it all in, and there's a dust seal and another bearing on this side. When you're doing this, don't forget to put this in. I've done that so many times. Just spray a little WD-40 so that way it's lubed up a little bit.
Wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. We're not as tough though. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease.
Alright, I got this pretty sweet Mikey Moto Racing rear rotor. This guy is in Ontario. It's a lightweight rotor, it's still functional, it's pretty sweet. It's a little pricey in my opinion. I was checking it out on his website, and you know, he's located in Ontario, so I thought it was in Canadian dollars, and I checked out and it was in American, and that's like, you know, 30 cents on the dollar. I gotta pay more. So yeah, it was just, I think it's still worth it. It's pretty sweet looking. It's gonna be unique and different. I'm gonna throw it on there to make sure the clearances are good for the caliper and to make sure it fits. I'm not going to Loctite this right now. I'm going to come back and take this off for when I lace it up. So this will be the last thing to go on once the wheels are fresh.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside when there's no shelter to hide, when everything is a lie.
The rear hub is on. I was fighting with it because the clearance right here wasn't fitting. So I just took it back off and I banged the bearings tighter. I noticed the inner collar was kind of loose and it's supposed to be tight. So under the cush drive, I just banged the bearing in more to seat more flush. I think that gave me the 1 millimeter I needed. But like, look at that. Like, that is perfect. I think there's a little rubbing on the caliper bracket, but I think I don't have these bolts tightened down all the way. Yeah. Oh, looks good. Looks good.
Try to be thankful first, I wanna feel again. I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel his tense. Don't know the consequence.
I'm still not sold on this. But hey, works for now. Alright, sweet. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises, or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to got the wheels sandblasted, hung up in the oven. Time to start the powder coating process. Felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I mean just gentlemen, because there's no ladies watching this channel. Here they are, finished product out of the oven, the wheel hoops. We got a 17 by 3.5 for the front, and a 17 5.5 for the rear. Plan is to mount a 190 on this bad boy after it is laced up. They got no fingerprints on them or nothing. They're fresh out of the oven, so I'm going to take this opportunity to put on some ceramic coating. This is just some cheap shit off Amazon I've had lying around for a while. Just going to throw that on there and help prevent any scratches or anything like that in the future. Alright, let's do that.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all. I just got
They are done, ceramic coated. I'm sure you know what ceramic coating is. Just like a newer technology. Instead of wax, it lasts a little longer. Oh yeah, check this out. I just got this in. Look at that. Custom license plate. CBRR, like CBR 1000RR. I was surprised it was not taken. Looks good with the license plate bracket. TST Industries license plate bracket. And I've had a little change of heart. So I've been powder coating all these bolts, right? But once you put a socket on it a bunch of times, it leaves a little mark in the powder coating. It's not best to powder coat hardware. So I've actually ordered a plating kit from Caswell, Canada. I'm gonna try and do some plating on all these nipples and spokes. So that should be interesting. I've never done it before. I've been watching a bunch of videos on it and reading some manuals, but I'll show you that process and how that goes. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, what is up? It's been a little while. This video has kind of been dragging on. It's probably been about 3 weeks later. Alright, so this is the plating kit, I guess you could say. Pretty much, this is a copper rod. The bolts and hardware are hung from the copper rod with copper wire. There's 2 zinc plates. This is called Zinc Copycat. There's a solution mixture in there that comes with the kit, and then I have like a fish tank pump, so just to move shit around in there. And I have distilled water to rinse it off. And then this is what adds the gold. This is called yellow chromate. So these have been in here for about 20 minutes. I have the amperage set about 2 amps. There's a calculation you have to do on the Caswell website. I'll post a link to the Caswell kit, and then also maybe some videos of that are better at explaining this whole situation. I don't want to go into a big long video of actually plating hardware and stuff. This is my first time, so yeah. Alright, let's take these out right now. So this is zinc plated. I'm gonna rinse it off in here, and then we stir it around in here. Somewhat golden already. I think a little more will be good. Alright. There we go. I think that's good. Alright, so this has been a long anticipated thing. So finally I have the nipples zinc coated. I spent way too much time on this zinc plating process. It's not perfect. You can see some are a little lighter, a little darker, a little shinier. It all comes down to prep, temperature, time, lots of things, and then trying to get this yellow gold coating to stick to the zinc. It was a different story in itself. But got the nipples here, powder coated black to match the hub. And yeah, I'm gonna try and lace these wheels up right now. By no means is this an instructional video of how to lace a wheel. I am not a professional. I have everything kind of laid out. I watched some videos. I've done dirt bike wheels before, but never like this style of wheel. I have the hardware for the wheels as well, so like the sprocket and rotors. So I'll be able to hopefully by the end of this video have the wheels on the bike with tires. I have the rotors here. This is the special tape for sealing to make it tubeless. So yeah, let's dive into it.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal.
aftermath. When I hate, I attack. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared.
Alright, so pretty much what I'm doing here is, as you spin the wheel will start to move away from the dial indicator. So I set my origin to 0, and I'm trying to get it closest to 0 as I can. So if it starts to go away from the dial indicator, that creates a positive. So I have to tighten the left ones to start to bring it towards it, to tighten it. So if you tighten the right ones, it brings it away. If you tighten the left ones, it brings it closer. Alright, so I finished tightening the spokes. It was pretty dialed in, I think. And then I put the tubeless tape on. You just start and stop in a place where there's no nipple. This is it. It's called 3M super sealing tape. You can see it is like super thick and sticky and gooey. So yeah, I just put that on there. You kind of go along and just push it down. And then I have a little tubeless valve stem here I'm going to put on. I'm just going to cut a hole in the tape of where that goes. Alright, I finished lacing this wheel. I have the tire in the house, so probably wait till tomorrow to put that on. Just mounted the Mikimoto Racing rotor. Looks pretty sweet. All the zinc plated bolts look pretty good. I still have these. These are all for the other wheel and the sprocket, but you wouldn't believe it. I actually lost one nipple, which really sucks. I have to order another set of nipples. I put a rush on it, so hopefully I'll have it here in a week, but I am gonna mount up that back tire tomorrow and probably lace up the front wheel a little bit, wait for that one nipple to come in, and then I'll plate it. But yeah, I might throw my other stock wheel on the front just to roll it off the lift, because I have to start working on my 450L for a race. So yeah, good night. Okay, I got the wheel on the machine, ready to mount my tires. This is the tire I chose. It is the Michelin Power 5s. I believe this tread design is brand new. I haven't really seen anybody with it. It's going to be a good street tire, I find. You know, still going to be able to lean it right over, drag some knee, but yet still have the water sipes. So I'm not going to be dragging knee on the street or anything, especially with this bike, but the track bike is pretty capable street tire, I find. So let's mount them up. had to put a ton of air in there to seat the bead. I was waiting for this little mark here around the tire to be even all the way around. I guess because of the powder coating, it was just kind of really, the tire was really sticky to the rim, and I forgot to add more soapy water as I was seating the bead. That probably would have helped, but you just pretty much keep adding air until the bead seats. I set the tire to 40 psi for now, just for storage, but then when I go to ride, I'm going to make sure to lower that down to like 25, 28. I keep my pressures for the rear pretty low on the street because I've learned from the track how a tire reacts and stuff like that on, I guess, once it gets cold and once it gets hot. I'll probably keep around a little higher in the 20s, like 28 I'd say. And when it gets hot, I'll go hit some country roads or something and it'll be like 32 or 33, something like that, right? And that's pretty good for the street. For the track, I think target hot for Michelin's, it's pretty low. I think target hot's like 24, 25. Yeah. Alright, let's balance it. Okay, balance. I just did it off camera. It's pretty much this valve stem was the heaviest side, so the heaviest side sits down, and then you weight the opposite side. So on the opposite side, I put some black painted stick-on weights. I just cleaned it up a bit. Now I'm going to throw it on the bike, putting the back wheel on. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but I don't have a chain, so this should make it easier. Guys, I'm not going to drag this video on any longer. Got the rear wheel wrapped up. I didn't get the front wheel wrapped up. I lost a nipple, so I got to order that, and I don't want to drag the video on any longer. And yeah, really the front is kind of boring compared to the rear. The rear was the crazy one that I had custom made, so yeah, let's check it out. So this is currently how the bike is sitting. Mocking up some fairings I got off the internet. They're just OEM used, pretty rough shape. They got some different color paints on them. So I had to get the bike off the lift to start building my 450L for a race. So I just threw on this wheel. This is the stock wheel, and this is an old slick of mine I was saving. So it looks pretty cool actually. I like it. Obviously no rotors. The bike still has a little bit to go, pretty much just fairings. I'm going to be doing some custom fiberglass work to the tail. But yeah, let's get a close-up of this rear wheel. Again, I got the Michelin Power 5s. Mounted up looking fresh. Got the Gills chain adjuster and Superbike lifters. Mikey Moto Racing rear rotor. Threw on the Vortex, no sorry, this is a Sunstar rear sprocket. So I didn't put the chain on yet. I have a pretty slick chain. Got the Hindle pipe on. Still don't have any coolant in it, but that's no problem. It's got oil, need to bleed the brakes. So let's get out in the light. Can't wait to finish this bike, it's gonna be sick. So again, this has got to be probably the only CBR 1000 in the world with spoked wheels on it. I'll be wrapping up that front as soon as that those parts come in, those nipples, and mounting up the tire and mounting it on the bike. So I'll probably just throw a quick snip of that in the next episode, and then probably start working on some body work in that episode as well. So it is now like May 9th, so yeah, I gotta get moving on this thing for sure. I'm missing all these bike nights and stuff, so yeah. Okay, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing. Got some pretty cool builds and stuff like that in the future planned. So